There is panic in the United States. Russia is sending a nuclear weapon to space is the content of this, and breaking the century-long treaty that has prevented wars from destroying the planet. The US must now hold emergency meetings and figure out a way to respond to something it has never seen before. A nuclear weapon in space. For decades, the idea of sending nuclear weapons to space has floated around, but it has always been crazy enough that every party knew not to do it. But today we live in a crazy world and crazy ideas aren't so crazy anymore. So when the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Representative Mike Turner, rang the alarms that Russia was considering deploying a nuclear anti-satellite weapon to space, the US government had to step in quickly. According to officials of the Biden administration, the weapon does exist, but is only still under development and doesn't pose any immediate threat. This isn't very comforting. Russia is already in a proxy war with the US in the Ukraine war. And in this war, the US has extensively used information gathered by its satellites to guide Ukraine. So when Russia develops its nuclear anti-satellite capability, it might not be too long in the future before it is deployed. According to sources, the new weapon is an EMP type. Such a weapon would create a pulse of electromagnetic energy and a flood of highly charged particles that would tear through space to disrupt not only the target satellite, but other satellites winging around Earth too. Launching a massive nuclear-based EMP weapon into space could change everyday life for everyone on the planet, to degrees that most wouldn't even think possible. TV, telephone, communications, GPS, storm tracking, everything that depends on satellites to function could all be gone in the blink of an eye. The military, which depends on its superior technologies in space for early warning, intelligence gathering, navigation and weapon guidance, communications and data sharing and so on, would instantly lose all of these capabilities. Entire constellations of smaller satellites, such as the Starlink satellites of SpaceX, which has been successfully used by Ukraine in its ongoing war with Russia, would be wiped out. And like these weren't bad enough, the debris from the destruction of these satellites could become a cloud of dangerous space junk traveling at hypersonic speeds and capable of causing even further damage to whatever valuable asset remains in space. For context, when Russia destroyed a satellite with a missile in 2021 to demonstrate its capabilities, 1,783 pieces of debris were tracked flying around our planet at more than 17,500 miles per hour, each capable of damaging or even destroying a spacecraft. Although the 1967 Outer Space Treaty, the most comprehensive of all the international agreements concerned with outer space, bans countries from putting such weapons in space, it's important to note that Russia has been exiting a lot of the post-Cold War treaties. With the US-Russia relations deteriorating rapidly, should the need arise, Russia may find itself leaving even the 1967 Outer Space Treaty, which is one of the last ones still in place. Without legal binds preventing Russia from scarily growing its military might in space, the US too might have to do the same, and the Cold War would get cold again. In fact, in addition to the new EMP weapon being speculated, Russia is working on a number of other weapons designed to wreak havoc to targets in space. Here they are. Recent Google Earth images revealed the construction of what appears to be a sophisticated laser system at a Russian space facility. A system that could blind satellites in space. The construction is taking place at the Russian Ministry of Defense's Korona space facility, home of the massive, highly successful Rotan 600 radio telescope. The existence of this weapon was brought to light in an in-depth open-source investigation that analyzed a library load of public satellite imagery, solicitation documents from Russian industrial contractors, and Russian financial documents. These analyses revealed the development of a project named Kalina, which was described in the financial documentation obtained by the Space Review as a laser system designed for electro-optical warfare that can permanently blind adversarial satellites by shining laser pulses so bright they can damage optical sensors. This is an upgrade to Dazzlers, which are lasers aimed at only temporarily blinding optic systems. The Kalina would have a unique tracking system with adaptive optics to help it better mitigate atmospheric disturbance. The fired laser itself features a transmit-receive system to measure laser light